In the heart of ancient Greece, the Mycenaean civilization is held strong by the wise ruler King Eurysthenes of Mycenae. His reign is characterized by peace and prosperity. Yet a troubling dream starts plaguing the king's sleep. He envisions a terrifying serpent, its fangs oozing poison, wreaking havoc among his people. This horrific dream instills an unsettling fear in him, possibly a sign of an impending threat. To understand this cryptic warning and protect kingdom, King Eurysthenes dispatches trusted emissaries to the Oracle of Delphi. The oracle, revered across Greece for her divine foresight, is believed to channel the divine voices, presenting a glimpse into the future's fabric. Upon receiving the king's request, the oracle retreats into her sacred sanctuary, invoking guidance and prophecy. The prophecy she sees is not of peace but of looming devastation. She witnesses a force rising from Sparta under the formidable King Hyllus, with war clouds gathering over Mycenae, senses the heat of flames, hears the clash of swords and the mournful cries of defeated warriors. The emissaries return to Mycenae carrying not promises of prosperity but alarming predictions of invasion and war. King Eurysthenes is advised by the oracle to ally with neighboring city-states and fortify his kingdom against the upcoming tempest. A storm is brewing, prepare for war, echoes the oracle's prophecy in the royal corridors of Mycenae. Thus begins a saga of prophecy, warfare, and treachery. As the future of Mycenae teeters on the brink, will King Eurysthenes pay heed to the oracle's caution? Only time will tell. The question remains, can he lead his kingdom to victory, or will he succumb to the brewing storm? Stay tuned to witness the unfolding of this epic tale. As the prophecy echoed through the grand halls, King Eurysthenes set out devising a strategy to protect his kingdom. A formidable adversary was looming in the distance, a storm of war threatening to engulf Mycenae. Recognizing the grave nature of the impending onslaught, King Eurysthenes, a leader known for his wisdom and fairness, acknowledged the need for allies. He reached out to the neighboring city-states, not seeking supremacy but camaraderie, not dominion but unity. His emissaries didn't just carry messages of peace, but heartfelt pleas for alliances in the face of the imminent threat. For King Eurysthenes, alliances were more than just strategic maneuvers. They were testaments to mutual trust and respect. Emphasized their shared history, their common heritage, and their collective love for their homeland. As the affirmations poured in, a complex network of alliances materialized, fortified by promises of assistance. These alliances were a clear representation of the diversity of cultures and beliefs the ancient Greek society. But alliances alone were enough. An army had to be raised, soldiers trained. Shifting his focus to his subjects, King Eurysthenes rallied his people, instilling a sense of unity and resilience. He summoned all able-bodied citizens, every brave soul willing to protect their home, to join his rapidly expanding army. He didn't just gather in, he built one. The soldiers were trained, their skills honed, and their spirits fueled with a sense of duty and honor. They understood that they were fighting not just for their families, but for their future. Battle plans were drawn, fortifications reinforced, weaponry sharpened. Every day marked progress towards readiness, every night a prayer for peace. King Eurysthenes knew that war was inevitable, but he had done everything in his power to prepare for it. With firm alliances and a battle-ready army, King Eurysthenes stood ready to face the storm. Even as the winds of war began to stir, he was not alone. He had the strength of his people, the solidarity of his allies, and the courage of his. The battle was imminent, and King Eurysthenes stood fortified. But the question remains, would his preparations be enough to weather the storm, or would the mighty Mycenae crumble under the weight of the impending threat? As the drums of war continue to throb, the oracle's voice reverberates once more, unmasking a serpent hidden within the king's court shadows. Anxiety pervades the air as the second prophecy begins to unfold, a prophecy that will rattle the foundations of King Eurysthenes' trust and loyalty. Unveiling the presence of a traitor amid them, the oracle speaks of a wolf hiding under the guise of a trusted friend and advisor. A shiver runs down Eurysthenes' spine, grappling with the severity of the disclosure. The walls of his once safe and comforting now seem to close in on him as if bearing a toxic secret. His heart throbs in his chest, mimicking the distant war drums. Known for his wisdom, fairness, and stoic demeanor, the king is unprepared for the unfamiliar sting of betrayal from within his court. Mind races, scrutinizing every advisor, friend, and family member, searching for any sign of deceit. Amidst the chaos, one face emerges from the shadows, a face as familiar as his own reflection. Procles, his brother. Procles, who had always lived in his shadow, silently nurturing an ambition now threatening to engulf them all. Behind the treachery, Procles is tormented, caught between treachery and desire, wrestling with an irreversible decision. Known as a skilled diplomat, Procles had been playing a different game entirely. He had been secretly communicating with King Hyllus of Sparta, trading Mycenae's secrets for a promise of power and survival. But the choice strangles him, a sacrifice as much as it is a betrayal. His own brother had sold their city, their people, to the enemy, a wound that was than any Spartan spear. Eurysthenes feels his world crumbling, his trust shattered, his heart burdened with deceit. The drums of war resonate ominously, a harsh reminder of the storm about to hit Mycenae. A prophecy has morphed into a nightmare as the traitor in shadows is none other than his own conflicted brother Procles. So what happens now? How will Eurysthenes deal with his own flesh and blood, the traitor? The drums of war are getting louder, but whose side will they beat for? In the intricate game of deceit and diplomacy, King Eurysthenes finds himself in a strategic impasse that could redefine his rule and the fate of Mycenae. The revelation of his brother Procles' treachery stings Eurysthenes like a brilliantly designed arrow, piercing the very heart of trust and family ties. Procles, his kin, his childhood playmate, now emerges as an enemy, a traitor concealed behind a mask of brotherly love. As Eurysthenes wrestles with this bitter revelation, he finds his heart caught in a tug of war between the love for his brother and responsibility towards his kingdom. He contemplates the gravity of Procles' deceit and the depth of his treachery. Procles hasn't just betrayed him, but all of Mycenae, risking countless lives for his trivial aspirations. Yet amidst the turmoil of deception, a sliver of hope. Can Procles be trusted again? Like a lost ship caught in a tempest, can he chart his course back to loyalty's safe harbor? Can he reclaim his lost honor? Eurysthenes understands the power of second chances, their ability to reform and make amends. But as a king, he must also weigh the risks. Would he gamble his people's safety on the precarious grounds of trust? Can he risk their lives on the roulette of redemption? The equilibrium between justice and mercy teeters in his hand, a decision that will mold Mycenae's future. This decision transcends personal bonds. It resonates with the age-old conflict between justice and mercy, duty and love. It's a choice that will characterize him not just as a ruler but as a strategist. His brother's fate balances on the edge, a pendulum swinging between forgiveness and retribution. The clock of destiny ticks, each heartbeat a forewarning of the impending invasion. The enemy is at the gates, the traitor within his council. With foes at the gates and deceit in his court, King Eurysthenes finds himself at the strategic crossroads of his destiny. But as the hours dwindle, the question echoes in the silent corridors: will King Eurysthenes choose? Will he gamble on redemption, or will justice prevail? This choice could change everything. As Spartan forces bear down on Mycenae, King Eurysthenes confronts the ominous predicaments foretold by the Oracle. The air is charged with suspense as these mighty armies prepare for battle. With the destiny of his kingdom and the Oracle's prophecy weighing heavy on his mind, Eurysthenes stands defiant. The knowledge of his brother Procles' betrayal introduces complexity to the situation, presenting Eurysthenes with a profound moral dilemma. Should he pardon, offering him an opportunity for redemption, or should he swiftly justice, in a stern warning to any who might contemplate similar acts of treason? The impending clash is as ferocious and unyielding, the clash of steel through the battlefield, and the air is filled with the anguished cries of warriors engaged in brutal combat. Amidst the turmoil, Eurysthenes leads his forces with steadfast determination, the oracle's prophecies and his brother's betrayal churning in his mind. When the dust finally settles, Mycenae proudly remains unbroken, a tribute to the fortitude of its people and the strength of its king. In the face of prophecy, treachery, and war, King Eurysthenes' story underscores potency of leadership and the capricious nature of fate. But as the sun sets on the battlefield, a question hangs in the air, a silent whisper in the wind. What does the future hold for King Eurysthenes and his kingdom? Will the prophecy continue to haunt him, or will he rise above all odds to shape his own destiny? The answer lies in the unraveling story of King Eurysthenes, a tale you simply can't afford to miss.